whistleblower should be revealed because the whistleblower gave false stories. Some people would call it a fraud. I won't go that far, but when I read it closely, I probably would.
So let me give you the details on what he's saying now. And I think this is just part of the distraction, as we know that there's been a number of White House officials who were subpoenaed to testify before congressional committees in the impeachment investigation. They've decided to defy those subpoenas. And so Trump is focusing on something that, quite honestly, is pretty irrelevant at this point. The whistleblower, who is it? And when is the media going to reveal this person's identity?
He's trying to egg us on to do it. That he wants us to release that name. And first of all, I know Mark Zaid, who's the whistleblower's attorney. There are more than one. There are multiple whistleblowers.
Right.
And they are irrelevant. They are factually not necessary to the narrative at this point. The president of the United States walked out and 5 feet from me told me exactly what the whistleblower said he was worried about. He or she was worried about. In addition, there have been other people come forward and testify. What the president is doing here is to try to deflect, but the more important thing is destroying the credibility of anyone who should come forward in the future. And in the process, he is a predator, destroying the Whistleblower Act. It doesn't matter if the whistleblower is right or wrong. The whistleblower merely came forward and said, look, I feel like this is wrong and it should be looked into. Following the exact rule of law and the way it should be done, the whistleblower presented information and the president released a transcript, which was really a memo, not a transcript, about, and then in that, he verified everything that the whistleblowers said was wrong.
You're exactly right. I mean, Donald Trump has incriminated himself over and over again, and he's the one who made the decision to release that memo of the phone call he had with Zelensky. And then on top of that, of course, you have, again, several of Donald Trump's officials testifying that yes, there was quid pro quo. Yes, this was problematic. And this is a form of intimidation. This is essentially messaging to anyone in government. If you have the audacity to speak out against me, even if you do so through legal means, I will come for you. Exactly.
And that you said it earlier, used the word earlier, and it's true. It's bullying.
Yeah.
It's bullying because if you're in that whistleblower's position, or if you're any position where you're working, who knows what level it might be. It might be clerical, it might be whatever. But you hear something where, just like you said, like, wait a minute, that doesn't sound right. I should say so. But if you're in a position of no power, now are you gonna do that? You know how scary that is? Because the reality is a lot of these people who work in the administration, the worker bees, you know what I mean? They need the job. Like you have bills, you have a family, you have a career. And this can destroy your career, where not only do you lose this job, you can't find anything in the future. This is
kind of like Sean Spicer.
Your life.
Bullying. Yes, Spicer.
But it goes beyond. I just got to say, it goes way beyond career. I mean, we know the type of political climate we're living in. We know the type of political violence that's been encouraged by someone like Donald Trump. Targeting a specific person like this and doing so relentlessly not only potentially destroys this person's career, but could destroy their life.
And then
it goes farther than that. It's destroying the republic. It's destroying on an international level. It's ruined our reputation, and it's giving cover to despots who, in the past, we condemned, we're cozying up to, and others will use what Donald Trump does to give them verification for what they do.
Right, it makes it okay. Well, the president of the United States did.
So hey, we can do it.
So it's okay. Yeah, this is bullying at the worst, and it's bullying people who can't fight back. Right, these are the people who can't hire a lawyer who has a lawyer who has a lawyer. You know what I mean? And go, these are people you can't fight on this level.
Well, luckily there are some lawyers in DC who will take these cases pro bono. Mark Zaid, who is the attorney for the whistleblowers at this point, is one of the best. And the thing is he's getting hit by the Republicans going, look, you're obviously partisan. And he goes, wait a minute, fellas,
What
I'm
happened to
independent.
attorney-client privilege, by the way?
By the way, he also defended, like the Daily Caller for a FOIA request. He's defended the Republicans in one of the cases against Hillary Clinton. He's totally independent.
He's even offered to have the whistleblower respond to Republicans' questions in written form. And Donald Trump, of all people, rejected that and said, no, it's unacceptable. He needs to show up and testify.
Well, that's because writing requires reading.
Well,
and Donald, now, Anna, let's be fair.
And remember, during the Mueller investigation, Trump didn't want to testify.
There's a comedian coming out of here.
You mean I got to read it? Never mind.
I tweeted out, I said today, do you want someone to read it to you?
Are there going to be any illustrations, some pictures? All right, well, let's go to the next video because Trump continues with his nonsense regarding the partisan leanings of this whistleblower.
Certain of the media released information about a man that they said was the whistleblower. I don't know if that's true or not, but what they said is he's an Obama person. It was involved with Brennan, Susan Rice, which means Obama. But he was like a big anti-Trump person, hated Trump, and they said terrible things. Now, I don't know if it's true or not, but that was reported by some of the media, so you'll have to find out.
The whistleblower does not matter. Even if by the way, there's no evidence that this is some partisan who's out for Trump. It doesn't even matter if he or she were. Because the fact of the matter is Donald Trump has already incriminated himself. In front of a helicopter, he talked about how China should investigate his political opponents.
I was there.
Yeah.
I'm an eyewitness to a disaster.
What was going through your mind when he made those statements?
When he said, well, the very next question I asked him was, I said, are you going to encourage Putin to investigate him? And that's when he walked away.
That's hilarious.
But I mean, yeah, I don't know where you go at that point in time. I'm an eyewitness to it, and he doubled down on it in front of us to try and make it sound like there was nothing wrong. It was the perfect conversation. So Mick Mulvaney came out in the press briefing room and said, hey, look, we did it, get over it. We do it all the time. Well, there was the confession, right there. Trump confessed, Mulvaney confessed. What more do you need? Yes, I shot her, Your Honor. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the witness, yes, I saw him shoot her, Your Honor. It's okay.
Let's go after the person who first reported that I shot her. Yeah, right. Like it's
has nothing to do with a murder at this point. Just who was the one who ratted me out?
There's two things here I love. One, he said the person hates Trump, right? So you're doing an investigation. Say, what clue do we have? The person hates Trump.
Well, okay, that narrows it down.
That narrows it down to everybody. But the other thing,
except Kellyanne and Stephen Miller,
his hatred of Obama and the fact that Obama gets under his skin so much. You know the Trump baby balloon?
Yes.
I say if you really want to drive Trump crazy at his rallies and all that, don't bring out the Trump baby. Just bring out Obama balloons. Just have Obama heads floating around. That would
like Adonis-like.
That would destroy him so much more than the Trump baby. Just
or
everywhere,
like 3,000 masks.
Everywhere he turned,
Obama
there was
Such
Obama's face. He would just snap. He would just lose it.
He would totally lose it.
Well, what's he got left to lose? Yeah. I mean, I'm sitting there. I'm telling you, I'm worried about the guy. I don't know that he's,
Please.
I as a human being, I am.
I'm with you, Anna.
I'm so past it. He's been.
I got nothing.
I got nothing.
Yeah, none. There's no sympathy, empathy.
No, I didn't say sympathy. Empathy, a little different. I have a little empathy for it.
I got nothing.
Well, I wouldn't want to, gack out and go. I have empathy for that, but that's my fear.
The only thing that I find comfort in these days is watching him suffer.
Wow.
And he's suffering right now. I mean,
that he is.
All of the early morning Twitter rants, all of the nonsense about how this is a perfect call, he's panicking, and he has good reason to panic. I mean, he's pushing Senate Republicans to defend him on the substance of this impeachment investigation, and Senate Republicans are like, listen, no, this is super risky. We can't do that. We're gonna keep focusing on process. And look, the fact of the matter is Trump makes it increasingly difficult for them to support him or defend him on substance because he's the one who keeps saying things like, it was a perfect call. Here he is saying that it's a perfect call yet again.
Well, they can't defend the facts. They can't defend the law. I don't want to go so far. My worry is, I do have something left as far as empathy goes because of the position.
You're a far better person than I am. I don't know how that's even possible.
Because I'm looking at I hope I'm looking at a bigger picture. And the bigger picture is, how do we get past this? There's gonna come a time when Donald Trump isn't president by his means, the means of nature, or the means of the Senate or the Electoral College or something. His time will end. How do we pick up the pieces afterwards? Because there are people that I know, there are millions of people who voted for him in 2016 and don't want to vote for him in 2020, but they're upset with the Democrats because they're talking about healthcare, and to those voters that want to find someone else to vote for, their healthcare is their gun.
Yeah.
And you want to take that away, and they ain't going to vote for you. I don't care if you tell them free tooth enamels and whatever you want to give them, that's not going to happen. So I'm worried about what goes, and I don't take pleasure in seeing this at all. I'm concerned for the republic, the future, and I have my first grandson. I'm worried about how he's gonna grow up.
Well,
what are we gonna do?
We were talking about it before the show, right? If this wasn't real, it would be hilarious.
Yes.
It would be hilarious. I mean, just in that statement when he said that, some would call it fraud, I wouldn't go that far, but I'm gonna say it is.
But maybe
it's like,
I
wait a minute, you just said.
But maybe I would.
That flirty way. He always does this weird flirty whisper voice. I wouldn't call it fraud,
yourself.
but maybe I would.
Right.
You contradicted 2 sentences ago. Not even from morning to afternoon, and the tweets and all of that. If it wasn't real, it would be hilarious.
It's entertaining to watch.
What you're saying,
I'll give you
I
that,
could not sell this fiction.
What you're saying is what happens? Do we look back? Well, it depends on which country we are. Because if we go back to the country we were before Trump, we'll look back at it and say, man, this was a horrible mistake, never do it again. But there is that risk that you talk about, that this is the new normal. And we just purely
I think Trump has desensitized the American voters to the kind of nonsense that we're seeing in the White House, and that terrifies me.
He's not an aberration of the system by any measure. He is the culmination of it. I mean, he is a symptom of the problem that has existed for a while.
Absolutely.
We're a reality show.
Yeah.
We unfortunately, I've joked about it all the time, we're Canada's favorite reality show. They look over the border and they're like, what are they doing now?
Look what our dumb cousins
What are they doing? They
legalized
marijuana so they could all get high and watch us. They're like, oh, this show is gonna be good. How long is this on?
Well, we're smoking with them, just to numb the pain.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.